September 11th, 2023. Take roll, Mary Beth.
Bernstein,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Keeper,
Here.
Tegmeyer,
Here.
Here.
Weenan,
Here.
Renner.
Here, we have a quorum. Next is the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's move ahead to item number 23C-0345. It's reports of standing committee, which we have none tonight. Moving ahead to item number 23C-0346, citizens' comments, not to exceed 15 minutes as an agenda item and not more than 3 minutes per speaker. If you wish to address the council, step up to the microphone, state your name and your address.
James Boho, Rocky Hill Road, Rice Township. At the last council meeting, I was a bit out of bounds. I would like to apologize for that. Addressing the dangers of Route 20 and 4th Street again. On Friday, the 9/1 of 23, a serious accident occurred involving a senior couple from Savannah coming to spend time in Galena, and the other driver was a rural Galenan. I stopped and spoke with them. Mr. Mayor, I'm asking you and the city of Galena for cooperation with the State of Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, the IDOT Strategic Highway Safety Plan, Illinois, 2022 through 2026. Calls for cooperation from local public agencies. The website spells it out and offers a contact person. Here is said plan. I have spent the last year and a half trying to bring the city cooperation with East Galena, Rice, Elizabeth, Hanover Township, also with the communities of Elizabeth, Hanover, Savannah, and of course the Joe Davis County. These townships and communities, along with Joe Davis County, all have safety concerns. The Federal Highway Administration also identifies dangerous roads. Blackjack Road checks all of the boxes. That connects to 4th Street and Highway 20 via 4th Street, especially with serious accidents and injuries requiring hospitalization and deaths. Blackjack Road, dangerous. The Federal Highway Administration also offers an entitled Local Road Safety Plan, FHWA-SA-21-033. At the beginning of this plan is where it refers to an infographic which identifies the stakeholders as elected officials, EMS, public health and law enforcement, and more. And here is that plan. And right up in here, you can't see, but you're the first one with a check in the box, elected local officials. Today, with all the community and county elements involved, and with the cooperation from you, Mr. Mayor, the city of Galena, the Illinois Strategic Highway Safety Plan, and the Federal Highway Administration Local Road Safety Plan, I'm looking to you to form a committee and host a road safety program. The state plan and federal plan both have a step-by-step website and also personal contacts and bill numbers.
Your 3 minutes are up, and thank you.
And again,
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to say, can we please take a minute out
No.
of 9/11?
So we will. Is anybody else this time wishing to address the council? Okay. All right, let's move ahead then. The public hearings, we have none tonight. Liquor Commission, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn as city council and convene as a liquor commission. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Moving second to adjourn as city council and convene as a liquor commission. Take roll, Mary Beth.
Johnson,
Here.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, all right, we are now into the liquor commission. Let's move right ahead to item number 23C, 0347. Discussion and possible action on request for a Class S corporation liquor license for Lane Creations LLC, DBA Board and Brush Creative Studio, 310 North Main Street. Do I have a motion of this? Alderperson Pam Bernstein.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the request for a Class S corporation liquor license for Lane Creation LLC, DBA Board and Brush Creative Studio, 310 North Main Street, item 23C-0347.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderperson Tegmeyer. Any discussion on the information is here from the chief police? Everything looks in order. Any other discussion? Let's take roll call. Right now.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then to item number 23C-0348. Discussion and possible action on request for a corporate manager liquor license for Jennifer May Lane for Lane Creations LLC, DBA Board and Brush Creativity Studio, 310 North Main Street. Do I have a motion of this? Alderperson Tegmeyer, did you have your finger up there?
Yes.
All right.
I move to approve the request for a corporation manager liquor license for Jennifer May Lane for Lane Creation LLC, DBA Board and Brush Creative Studio, 310 North Main Street, item 23C-0348.
Okay. Second on that.
Second.
Second, Alderperson City Johnson. Any discussion on this? Let's say we have all the information in front of us. Take roll call then.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. This time I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn as the liquor commission and reconvene as the city council.
So moved.
Second.
All right, the move by Alderperson Katie Wingen, seconded by Alderperson Jerry Kiefer. Take roll.
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. All right, we're back at city council. Let's move ahead then to consent agenda CA 23-16. Do I have some type of a motion on the consent agenda?
Mr.
Alderperson.
Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda item CA 2316.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second.
All right, been moved second on consent agenda CA 23-16. Any discussion on either one? Seeing none, hearing none, take roll call on that consent agenda.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then to unfinished business. Item number 23C-0331 is discussion and possible action on an agreement with Montgomery Trucking for solid waste service, garbage and recycling collection and disposal. Do you have some type of motion on this? Alderperson Jerry Westmeyer.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement with Montgomery Trucking for solid waste service, garbage and recycling collection and disposal, 23C-0331.
Second.
All right, so move second item number 23C-0331. Discussion on this. Now, before you raise your hand, we also have with us a gentleman by the name of Josh, who is with Montgomery Trucking. And if there's questions that we ask, I think we can have two of us say that we would like to have him come up to the podium. So, okay, Pam.
Yes, I'd like to have him come up to the podium.
Josh, are you here?
I'm here, but I'll have Casey step up and I'll step in if need be.
All right, all right. Casey's the local representative, I guess I should have. All right. Okay, Pam, go ahead if you have a question.
Yeah, we have a number of questions. First of all, I'd like to know whether the trucks that you'll be using to pick up the refuse are such that they can handle more than one size can. In other words, you're proposing a 65-gallon can, but would it also be possible to have other sizes such as a 35-gallon can?
We would typically like to do 95 or 65 gallon can. But we would entertain like doing a special circumstance, we could possibly do a 35. Just the truck does not pick up the 35-gallon can
It does not.
as easy as the 65-gallon can.
Okay, well, here's the problem I think, we're facing here, and that is that you're dealing with an older population. And we also have terrain that doesn't lend itself easily to people carting garbage cans up and down steps to put on the street, especially in the wintertime. Our median age here is 56.8, which indicates that there are a lot of us who are in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and still have our own homes and are having to deal with the garbage. So I would like to suggest to your company that you consider offering an option for citizens who would like to have that 35-gallon can, because frankly, and I have talked to people in my ward, most of them say that they can't deal with the big cans. So we're hoping that you will consider this.
We would consider special circumstances
Well,
of possibly doing.
there may be a lot of them, and I just feel that we should warn you that.
Well, that'd be something we're willing to work with the city.
Great.
more, but
Alderperson Cindy Johnson.
I see in all your paperwork that the company is more than happy to give people a 1-800 number to call 24 hours a day. It's not written anywhere. Where is the 800 number? What number are you going to give people? How are you going to have it on the garbage can themselves? How will people know how to contact your company?
We would just have our local number on the garbage cans. The 1-800 number, I believe is on the website, wasteconnections.com.
I know, I wasn't sure if that was the number that you would be, so people call this number?
0672, yep, 777-0672.
Alderperson Tegmeyer, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to piggyback on what Alderperson Bernstein said about the size of the cans, because it also said, you said, and it says in our document that you would consider alternatives. So I just wanted to push that a little further, where how would you define these special situations? How would residents apply for the exception to the rule? What's the communication timeline? Because what we don't want to happen is have it be, December 15th and the first snowfall, and then people people don't realize it, because a lot of people obviously aren't here, so they might not know about the change until it literally arrives at their doorstep. And so I'm just wanting to get ahead of the communication part of it.
Like I said, it'd be something we'd work with City Hall on. I guess, I don't know.
Let me ask you this question. When do you propose having these trucks in service?
We can.
Do you have
when-
these trucks
when the-
right now?
It's in Freeport, waiting to come here.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
can you lift, your trucks can lift on both sides?
No, passengers, right side only.
That's gonna be a problem for you guys right now, I'll tell you. You'd be more work the way it is doing that, but I'll tell you, it's gonna be a problem for you. So you got one now, so you want to know who would like to have a smaller amount, say by September, the end of September. Is that what you're thinking? Or when do you plan on bringing this truck up in Freeport?
With,
Come on up here, John.
Yeah.
Come on.
it takes about 2 weeks.
So usually what happens is we wait until we sign a contract until we order the totes. I'm not gonna order totes before we get a contract, because if something happens that the contract does not go through, we're stuck with all these totes.
Right.
So typically, once this contract is approved, it's 8 to 10 weeks out until production and delivery from the date of our ordering.
Okay, but if this contract is approved, you would probably want to know sooner than later when you're ordering tough, if you have to order maybe a couple more 35s instead of 65s. You want to go to 65 gallons in town here, right?
Correct. And again, going back to the special circumstances, I think both us and the city, maybe more so Mark than anybody, need to look at the special circumstances as far as downsizing from the 65 to the 35 as an option.
Okay, so let's say, the people get a 35, and I think I read in your contract, they want to go to 65, then they got to buy the 65?
No, we have no problem going back.
Replacing? Okay.
We'll do it one time, no charge.
Okay.
If people keep going back and forth, then we're gonna start charging too.
So then these containers go to the property, not the person. If the property is sold, that container should stay there.
Correct.
And then if a new owner wants a bigger one, is that a swap out then, or does that new one have to buy the new
No,
owner?
there, at no point in time does anybody have to buy a new tote unless
They damage
they
it.
damage it
Right.
by putting something hot where it burns and or melts it. If we damage it, something happens to the wheels, whatever, we take care of all of that unless it is the homeowner that actually causes the damage.
Okay. And I'm getting back just quickly now, pass this on to other people, but when you're talking about lifting from the passenger side, we got a one-way street, mainly Bench Street. And everything's pretty much on the left-hand side, so you're going to be out of the truck, going across in front and lifting it up. But I thought you could lift from both sides.
No, we do not. Your city is not the only city with one-way streets that we deal with this.
Okay,
The guy can get out of the truck. He may have, if he's gonna have, there's several different things we can look at.
Oh.
He can get out of the truck and wheel it over, dump it, wheel it back to the side that it belongs on.
Jerry,
You asked a question I had.
okay. The other thing, Katie? Go ahead.
It does sound like this is gonna move pretty quick. I guess my only comment is our contract is up with them on August 31st, so I don't like to expect vendors to keep working for us, not under a contract. I think, you've been a partner forever and a great vendor, but I do think like us as city council also owe it to our vendors in these long-term relationships to also either get the contract done or to move on, because they are essentially operating a contract.
Well, here's the thing. When they were mentioning to them that we would negotiate with them, it was a while before we got it. So, it's on both sides.
Okay,
Don't think they were holding back on anything. Any other questions for these gentlemen? Alderperson Tegmeyer.
I just have a clarification point. When you were talking, Mr. Mayor, about the containers and the purchase of them, it actually says in page 6, paragraph 21, the collection containers to be provided by the contractor remain the property of the contractor. So the citizens don't actually own the containers, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then I just also wanted to point out that we also have a unique situation with Gear Street being a one-way street with semis on it as well, which I'm sure you're aware of. And so I just wanted to get ahead of that and how that might work with one-sided garbage pickup. And I was also wondering, with this talk of some people needing a smaller container, is there an option, and this might go back to our city ordinances, for people putting out just solo bags, and what sort of plastic would we need to have them be raccoon proof, or, what are our option B's and C's is what I'm trying to think of.
Well, go ahead.
Like, will you pick up just a garbage bag?
That is why we are providing these totes. The truck sits high enough that we do not want our drivers throwing garbage bags up and over, or the way these totes are gonna go into the truck.
We'll have to be putting garbage cans. Simple as that, every property.
Okay. And then, so what's the main benefit of the 30% increase in pricing?
The main benefit, the price of just, I can give
It's
you a
just
whole list.
like an inflation cost
Inflation
thing,
of oil,
or?
tires. A new truck costs $425,000. The totes themselves, I think we all know what kind of economy we're in.
Right, but I mean, like, it's easier for you to run the trucks and with the new trucks, but if it's harder for our specific citizens in our specific community, I'm trying to get ahead of the complaints so that we can answer
Well,
them.
they can call the complaints to them.
All right. Very-
Sure, continue.
Okay,
I just
Okay,
have
Cindy,
one
one more.
more for you here. I'm looking at the breakdown of all the different companies that we're getting possible bids from, right? You in Hanover, Montgomery, you have 2 30-gallon garbage containers for Hanover. Why don't we do that here? Is that's because it doesn't lift up with the truck? Is that the?
The Hanover contract was negotiated prior to this contract. As we move forward with potentially the city of Galena going to totes and the village of Elizabeth, which we just signed recently with totes, we will then approach Hanover to go that same direction.
Yeah, I think their contract ends at the end of the year, I believe, or something down there. But, okay, anything else at this time? You know, it's like everything else, prices are going up. Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Any other discussion at this time? Alderperson Pam.
Well, I just have a question about this. I'm wondering how we, if you bring this to a vote, how do we build into that the fact that we would like the company to, continue to discuss with the city how we can, ensure that people have an option for size?
Well, I think just a mere statement made, and we could put it in the contract somewhere that the citizens of the town have an option between 35 and 65.
Fine.
I know you have read from 95, and I think
That's just the trucking deals.
maybe for the high school or something, but anyway.
I see that.
But anyway, you keep in touch with people that are in the small. Right.
Garbage or.
You ready?
Sorry.
Got anything?
Yeah, no, I'm done.
All right. Anything else at this time? If not, let's take a roll, Mary Beth.
Bernstein?
Wait, can we read back the motion? please?
Right.
So we need to add.
The motion was just to approve the contract. Okay.
Okay, take a roll, Mary Beth.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes,
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. All right, then. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Under new business, let's move ahead under item number 23C-0351. Discussion and possible action on just financing for the 2023 capital projects. Do I have some type of motion on that?
Mayor,
Alderperson?
I move we approve action on financing for 2023 capital projects 23C-0351
For what amount and for whom?
for the amount of $1,328,000 for,
Which bank?
the bank is First Community Bank of Galena at an interest rate of 3.85.
Okay, do I have a second to that? Well,
Second.
second, Alderperson Perry, Westmeyer. Discussion on this? It's a pretty good deal, Michelle.
Yeah, it's a heck of a deal. It's all stuff that we have to have done, so.
Yeah, and we can stretch it out over a
Yeah.
5-year period, where it doesn't hurt, or everything.
Is it a fun?
All right, take roll, Mary Beth.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
yes,
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Renner.
Yeah, motion carries. Let's move ahead then to item number 23C-0352. Discussion and possible action on the renewal of employee health, dental, life, disability, and vision insurance policy and health savings account distribution. Do I have a motion on that? Take one.
I move to approve the renewal of the employee health, dental, life, disability, and vision insurance policies and health savings account distributions, item 23C-0352.
Before I get a second on that, can I have you add to your original motion in reference to the recommendations on page 3? That's a whole paragraph. We have 4 motions there, but I'd like to make it all one.
Page 45.
well, page 45 on your paper. The bottom is recommendations, and it's got 4 insurances all broke down. And instead of having 4 different motions, I'd like to
So
have.
do you just want me to say sorry.
Yeah.
Say that again, what I should say?
Just in your motion, just so you approve it with the recommendations listed on page 45 of the agenda. And then when it comes to the paper here in regards to all the insurances, and this will be put in our minutes and separately instead of having
Okay, great.
four motions.
So I would like to add to my motion to be in accordance with the recommendations on page 45 of the agenda.
Yes,
So,
that'll save you a lot of talking about the numbers.
thank you.
Do I have a second on this?
Second.
It's been seconded on item number 23C-0352. Any questions on the insurance? I think we've done pretty good this year. We're holding our own. The
Yeah.
prices have gone down just a smidge, but let's take it. Okay, take a roll on that. Mary Beth.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes,
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Yes,
Bernstein,
Yes,
Johnson,
Yes,
Brenner.
Yes, motion carries. So we have then item number 23C-0353, a discussion and possible action on a contract to replace the roof of the swimming pool bathhouse building. Do I have a motion on that for what company and what amount?
okay. I make a motion to approve the contract to replace the roof of the swimming pool bathhouse building with elevated roofing out of Stockton, $39,596.38 with additional decking at $100 per sheet. Item number 23C-0353.
Second.
Remove second line number 23C-0353, discussion. I think the existing roof has been on there since the building was put in. That was 40 years ago, but we've knocked on wood, it's very good. All right, then we need it. Anything else? Okay, take roll call on that, Mary Beth.
Tegmeyer,
yes,
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes,
Bernstein,
yes,
Johnson.
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Brenner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then. I have number 23C-0354, the warrants. Do we have a motion on all the person Katie?
make a motion to approve the warrants. Item number 23C-0354.
Second.
All right, the move second on item number 23C-0354 warrants. Any questions on any of the bills? Take roll call, Mary Beth.
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes,
Bernstein,
yes,
Johnson,
yes,
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
yes,
Brenner.
Yes, motion carries. We had item number 23C-0355, only purchase common. All person Jerry Westmeyer.
Nothing.
All person Pam Bernstein.
yeah, I just want to comment on, the discussion we had at the last meeting about what we might do with that building in 403 South Main. And at this point in time, I just want to say that my feeling is that whatever we decide to do, I'd like restrooms to be included. I could change my mind, of course, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
All person Katie.
yeah, I just was looking over the, department head reports and noticed that we have 31 delinquent returns in hotel food and beverage amusement tax. So hoping we can get that short up. I don't understand the process of that, but I appreciate the detailed work, that they put into their report. So,
Yeah, and Jen, so you can talk with her and try to answer today about it. All the Cindy Johnson.
I would like to pass forward a thank you from Don Gervais for the mowing done on Stagecoach. He's very happy and he'd like to thank the crew and Mark Moran.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. And then I have one more thing. We were in the park, my grandson and myself on Saturday and watching trains and suddenly had a diaper emergency and went to the restrooms in the park only to realize we do not have baby changing tables. And that was kind of a terrible thing to discover at that time. So I'm just, for the budget next year or however we work on that.
Thank you. Anything else, Cindy? Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Other Cindy, Tagmeyer.
Okay, I have two things. So, first, when I ran for city council, one of my main goals was to facilitate transparent decision making. And so recent votes at the last meeting by the council to twice table the decisions made for 403 South Main Street have proved a bit frustrating to me, and I think slightly unfair to our constituents, in the sense that the city bought this building and the parking lot with the Galena citizens and the visitors' tax dollars. And the building and the lot should be used to answer the needs of and provide services for the citizens and the visitors. So I'm not asking for anything to be done today. I'm not asking for money that's not in a budget, but I am asking that we stop delaying the free process of gathering information, setting criteria, and a rubric for choosing options. So I just want to make sure that that was said. And then my second thing is I'm very excited to next week, along with my colleague Cindy Johnson, to attend the Illinois Municipal League Conference in Chicago. So if anyone is interested in the sessions that happen, I'm going on behalf of the city of Galena, and you can go to iml.org and let me know if you want me to attend one of the sessions, and I will attend and report back what I learned.
Thank you. One person drinking.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
All right. Let's move ahead then, item number 23C-0356, city administrative report, Mark.
Thank you. If you've driven around town lately, you've probably noticed some of the street construction going on, not the highway included, but in our residential areas. So civil contractors have finished all of the prep work on the west side and have paid part of it. We expect to finish the west side paving tomorrow. Most of the east side prep work is completed, and we hope they will complete that by the end of the week, but their schedule is somewhat unpredictable, so I'm not going to say that for certain. And we will continue to use Code Red to notify residents in those areas of what's coming, what to expect. And then lastly, at our paid parking lots next door here in 403 South Main and part of the Wyoming lot so far, we do have the cellular or the Wi-Fi hotspot boosters installed. So anybody trying to use Park Mobile or a mobile pay system for parking in those lots should be able to connect easily now. And kind of on that same note, the Verizon lease is approved, as we talked about in the past. Definitely moving forward on that project, and expect to see the antennas installed by hopefully the end of the year, but probably early next year.
Okay, thank you. So we had item number 23C-0357. I too went to mayor's report, reference all the activity in the downtown area with the sidewalks, crosswalks, Highway 20. Again, I thank everybody for their patience of getting around and doing it safely. And things will be done eventually, completed. So that the town's been busy with the good weather, and thanks to the staff and the police and stuff. The other thing is 9/11 was mentioned, so maybe at this point we'll just have a minute of silence to for that event. And I thank you all. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for the items listed.
Make a motion. Motion to go into executive session for items including section 2C11 pending probable or immediate litigation, section 2C21 review of executive session minutes, item number 23C-0358.
Second.
It's been moved second to go into executive session. Take roll, Mary Beth.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Runner.
Yes, motion carries. And thank you all again for coming. I got to check with Jonathan. No, we're on time.